So here was a really great couple of sentences that came from this TED Talks. And there are actually a couple of phrases that I'd like to go over with you from just this one little excerpt. You ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. So, three sentences to keep it all in context so it makes sense. The speaker says, do that. Err on the side of caution. Talk should not be cheap.
Can you pronounce air one more time?
Yep, that's a really kind of hard to pronounce word based on how it's spelled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's pronounced air.
Air, like
Air,
same as air.
just like the air
Oh,
you breathe, okay?
okay.
And it's short for the word error, ERROR. So if that helps with pronunciation,
Mm-hmm.
but it's air just like the kind you breathe.
Air. Okay,
Air.
gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. So now that you are all good on that pronunciation, would you read those sentences for me?
Of course. Do that. Air on the side of caution.
Yep,
Talk should
exactly.
not be cheap.
Cheap, exactly, right? So in particular, we want to look at the sentence err on the side of caution because it's a whole sentence here, but it's also a phrase that I think is fairly commonly used in English. So, have you heard of that before?
I never heard of it.
Okay. Well, good. Here's a new phrase that we can add to your vocabulary, right?
Ooh.
So, what it means to err on the side of caution means that you want to reduce your risk by planning or acting maybe even more careful than is perhaps necessary.
I see.
Does that kind of make sense?
It does, yeah.
It does. Okay, good.
시간이 없어서 영어를 연습할 환경이 안 돼서 자꾸 영어 실력이 줄고만 있는 것 같아서 고민이신가요? 여러분도 이제 미국 원어민 선생님과 50분간 100% 영어로 진행하는 수업을 통해서 조금 더 정확하고 자연스러운 영어를 배울 수 있습니다. 저처럼 여러분들도 하실 수 있어요. 고민하지 마시고 지금 바로 시작해보세요.
Another sentence that might go with this to help explain it is they decided to err on the side of caution when they made their investment. So, what that would mean is they are being extra cautious, extra careful. They're on the side of caution when they're making their investments.
Exactly. I bet they invested a lot of money though.
One would think, given the sentence, right?
Yep.
Yep. So, how'd you like to try reading that one for me?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. They decided to err on the side of caution when they made their investment.
Yep, good. And, err on the side of here, it's caution, but it could also be some other trait or characteristic. So, for example, maybe you'd like to err on the side of generosity, being generous, instead of being stingy.
Oh,
Yeah,
what does that mean, stingy?
stingy. Yeah, stingy means holding all your money to yourself. You don't want to spend it. You don't want to give it away.
I see.
So err on the side of is kind of the expression. And then you can add whether it's caution, generosity, or maybe some other characteristic or trait.
Interesting. Okay. Quick question. How often do you use this idiom expression in a daily conversation?
In daily conversation, I mean, I think I use it fairly often,
Oh, really?
but maybe that's a personality trait. I tend to be cautious in many things, so I would like to behave in an extra cautious way. So I would err on the side of caution, and I would maybe give that same advice to somebody else. Well, err on the side of caution when you do whatever it is.
What if I say, instead of saying err on the side of caution, what if I say, oh, be careful? There is huge investment, so you gotta be really careful. What do you think? Is there any like a difference? Like one is more formal and the other one is like less formal, things like that.
I'm glad you asked because check out the synonyms I came up
Oh,
with.
okay.
So use caution, be extremely careful, be very aware. So I think that if you were to say, be careful when you make your investments. It's saying the same thing, but if you use, err on the side of caution, I think it shows a better understanding of the English language, even though it gets the same message across.
I see.
Okay. So how do you feel about the phrase? Is that something you think you could maybe use at some point?
Probably not, but at least, I know what that means right now. So when, in case somebody's, actually uses it, and then I know, what that means. So we
You
just
know what
get,
it means.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, even though you think you might not use it, I'm going to still ask you for a sentence. See if you can apply that phrase into a sentence. So think of something maybe other than investments you might want to be cautious or careful about.
This might be related to, where I am, because I live in a mountain town. This is my sentence, by the way.
Okay.
I live in a mountain town. So I have to err on the side of caution when driving, especially right after it snows a lot.
But that's an exact use of it. I mean, that's perfect, right?
Thank you.
Because you would want to err on the side of caution. So, I need to err on the side of caution when I drive after a snowstorm.
Yep.
So, all right, nice job.